Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. So sometimes I think I know what I'm going to talk about, and other times I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And sometimes somebody sends me something and I go, that is what I'm going to talk about. So Deborah Messing, my love, shared something and I have to share it with you. It's a video of a woman from France who was a Holocaust survivor. She was just a baby when Hitler took over France. And when she was 8 years old, she was in Bergen-Belsen, which is a concentration camp. And she said that for some reason they were lucky. When they brought the families to Bergen-Belsen, they let the children take a few small items with them. So she had a little tiny bag full of some rice and a little piece of chocolate. Now, gotta love France. They think always take chocolate, which I appreciate. Anyway, her mother said to her, if you don't mind, I'm going to keep this little bag for you. And when things get really bad here and you are too tired to go on, too weak to go on, I'm going to give you this chocolate to help you. And the little girl said to her mom, okay. Well, there was a prisoner in the barracks with them who was pregnant. She explains that she was pregnant, but so skinny you couldn't tell. And eventually the day came where the woman went into labor. And this young girl's mother was running the barracks and came to her daughter and said, Helena is in labor. She's going to have a baby. How do you feel? And the little girl said, I feel okay, Mommy. And she said, if it's all right with you, giving birth here is going to be very hard. She may die. If it's all right with you, I'd like to give her your piece of chocolate. And the little girl said, okay. The woman went. She had the baby. The mom gave her the piece of chocolate. And a few days later, the mother who had the baby returned to the barracks with the baby. The baby was wrapped really tight, and the baby never cried. This woman said for 6 months, this baby never cried. Nothing. 6 months later, the camp was liberated. People went back to their countries or whatever, and she makes the point that there was no counseling offered to these people, which is a whole separate talk in and of itself. The things that they experienced, the trauma they went through, the loss, the abuse, the horror, and there was no counseling offered in 1945 for these people. So this woman, years later, grows up and does a forum. She decides in her country, in France, that she's going to do a panel type speech about what a difference it would have made in the lives of survivors had psychology and counseling been offered to them after liberation. And she says it drew crowds, a great crowd of psychologists and doctors and historians and all types of people who, agree that counseling should have been offered. Anyway, there was a woman who came to speak, a psychiatrist, and she took the podium and she introduced herself and she said, before I deliver my talk, I have something for the woman who put this all together, our storyteller. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a piece of chocolate. And she gives it to this woman and she says, I was the baby. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So what is the point of this? The point of this is that sometimes the smallest act of kindness, the tiniest gesture of, I can't pretend to understand how bad this is for you, but here is something for you to hold on to. That sometimes is a way of counseling someone who is in so much pain. Just letting them know that you care with whatever you can give them. These people had absolutely nothing. Nothing. They didn't even have freedom. So when I tell you they had nothing, they had nothing. Forget clothes and sanitary products and prenatal care. Nothing. They weren't free to go to the bathroom when they wanted to go to the bathroom. But this small piece of chocolate was a sign of counseling. It was a sign of support. It was letting a mother know that we're here for you. We have nothing to give you, but we are here. And that this baby grew up to be something, someone, and knew the story, but more importantly, knew how important that small gesture was to her mother. Which means her mother told her the story and said, it was this that got me through. It is so profound to me how much we have at our disposal as human beings to help others. We have been almost conditioned to believe that we have to have much to give, when the truth is, you can have nothing and still give of yourself. Okay. It's hump day. I love you guys so much. Have a great day.